Here I go, and there you are. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mike Morales here in San Antonio. You are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media. As I said, I'm here in stormy San Antonio. That gentleman quarantining in place is...
Yeah, Rick Levy in Escondido,
That
California.
was cool. Do that again. Is that the one? There you go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is one of those ones you can wear it 12 different ways.
Yeah, that's cool. Can you put it on your head and,
Yeah.
Oh,
You can
cool.
do
Right on.
you
So
do
when
all
you
kinds of stuff.
drive
This one I do.
top down,
Whoops,
right?
I just lost my audio.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Look at you. So when you go skateboarding or you go to the bank, there you go. I'm sorry, folks. You're probably watching this. If you're watching this, we're still taping this at the end of May, but you could be seeing this in November because we're booked out so far out. There's so many brands this year, and
the face masks may still be relevant in November.
Yeah, I think I have a feeling that come fall we'll all be wearing that fashion statement. Okay, I'm very excited because tonight Rick and I have the distinction of tasting and dissecting Penta. You may not have heard of this brand before, or you may have just learned about it. I got to go on record, Rick. Regardless of what the first of all, this looks like an expensive shoebox, man. It looks like I got like the world's best tennis shoes.
Now, when I die, we're gonna put my ashes in there.
Yeah, well, there you go. See, it doubles as an ash. Yeah. Anyway, this is a beautiful presentation. I will say that I'm going to go ahead and nominate it for Brand of Promise in the packaging category because look at this bottle.
Yeah.
Look what they did with the twisty, bendy. This is like, the only other bottle.
The brand name is Penta. They got a 5-sided bottle. They got 5 partners in the brand. They got agaves from the 5 growing regions.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a number 5. And,
it's all very high concept.
Yes. Very high concept. And the price is going to match. So when we tell you the pricing, please don't get shocked. But there's a lot to dissect. There's a lot to unpack tonight. Okay. So we're going to break this open. We're going to taste it first. Then we'll tell you all the particulars about what we know about this brand. There's so much to see. Look at, it's got its own little crest. And it's magnificent. It really is beautiful. Now, this is not a Blanco. This is technically, they call it a Diamante, but it is this is a Tequila Reposado Cristalino. Okay, so technically, every Cristalino right now it's because it's not an expression yet. It's not an official expression. A Cristalino is technically a Reposado, I suppose. And there's a lot involved with this brand. There's a lot. It's a very labor intensive. We're going to use the Stasel Jarrito, the one without the Band-Aid.
Yeah, you got a shot of my
Rick. I got bubbles. I have lingering bubbles. You know how much I love bubbles, right?
You love the bubbles, man.
I love bubbles. Oh my God. Rick has done a lot of studying of the material that was sent to us. This is almost it's almost pristine, but it's just slightly not. I don't even want to call it opaque, and I don't want to call it dingy. What do we call it?
I don't know. Would you say it has
there's
patina?
a word. It's like I say, it's not. It's a Cristalino, but it's not going to be. It's not completely white. There's going to be some color. It reminds me a lot of like a Blanco Suave. It's been aged in wood for for like just under 30 days. All right.
It's extremely clear in the Cristalino category.
Yeah. Now we're using the Stasel Jarritos for tequila. It's fruit forward.
Yeah, it's very bright and fresh. The agave is really coming through. This is aged for 7 months in oak and filtered with a patented charcoal process.
Yes, and there's more to that story. Okay, I know that a lot of people are, and myself included, were kind of put off by the Cristalino category. All right, I like it. There's very little alcohol that I'm getting at all, and we
Yeah.
just broke the seal on these, folks.
No, this is beautiful.
I'm even getting a little bit of the wood.
I'm
Do
getting
you
some
notice
warmth
that?
from the wood. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like a real light vanilla.
Hmm. This is, oh, it is beautiful. I can't wait to
It's
put it
very
on the palate.
subtle. It's very subtle. It's not overpowering. So let's dive in and see what we got. Let's see what this tastes like, huh?
Oh,
Wow,
very nice.
what a great finish!
Oh,
Wow.
it's a total palate experience.
Yes, you get the pepper explosion. You get the sweetness. You know, if you let it open up a little bit, this is definitely one of those that there's a lot more character in it than some of the other. Now, you and I have tried a few.
Well, I would imagine with all that's gone into this, I would imagine you're going to find layers and layers and layers.
Well, they're supposedly the only ones using agave from all 5 states. Let's put it this way. That's a good selling point. There are brands that say that they use highlands and lowlands, and we're in the middle of a shortage. So, the fact that you're getting them from everywhere, that's good. A lot of master distillers like Germán Gonzalez always like to use highlands. He always had an 80-20 blend, highlands and then 20% Tamaulipas, because that's when he was making Chinaco. That's what he would do. So that's good. I like that there are 5 people involved. I also know a lot about the master distiller, and you surprised me. You mentioned something I was not aware of. So read that to me, okay? Because I want to hear it from
All
you.
right. Penta Tequila's signature brand formula was developed by the 5 partners who, as we were talking about before, they're all winemakers from Napa. But with the consultation of master distiller Ana Maria Romero and Casa Aceves.
Okay, there are 2 key points here. One, Casa Aceves. We've interviewed Jose Aceves, who he and his brothers run Casa Aceves. They're like they do in-house everything. They grow agave. They work with a couple of distilleries. He's a consultant. He's again master distiller, and his brothers work the business as well. And we interviewed him, and he was the one that told me about Penta. He was so excited about the stuff that they made him go through. And then he says, we even came up with a Cristalino. And when I interviewed him, I said, oh my God, you went through a Cristalino? He says, yeah, but Mike, this, I said, all that labor intensive, and you're telling me about the barrels, and then you're going to strip the color? Why? Right? And he says to me, there's a process that I'm using that we found out when we read the information that now it's a patent pending process of filtration that does not strip the character from the Cristalinos. So I believe that is his patent pending, if I'm not mistaken. And I got to tell you, Rick, this Cristalino, and you and I have had a couple this year. I'm thinking that this is a throwback Cristalino. I remember when they first did it at Cuervo, they laughed at Maestro Dobel, but it had a lot more wood character. This is a much subtle version. But now I'm getting much more vanilla notes.
Absolutely, yes. It's opening up a lot more of the barrel notes on the nose. But on the palate, it is, for me, it's probably closer to a Hoven.
It's explosive. There's so much character in it that I'm surprised and I'm not surprised, okay? Because my second point was that Ana Maria Romero Mena is involved, okay? This is the 3rd and I didn't know that about this because at the time I had spoken to Jose, and you can see that interview on Tequila Aficionado. You can hear it also on our podcast. When I spoke to him, I did not know that she was involved. It wasn't something that he had mentioned. This is the third tequila this year that has been entered where she is involved. We have one that's still in Mexico that Alex and I tasted, and we were very fortunate to get those. It's General Gorostieta. We also have the resurgence, the rebooting of Corrido Tequila, in which she is involved. And the Blanco is stellar.
Sweet.
Yeah, we only have the Blanco right now. And and then we have this. And so what's your bottom line? Let's talk about price. Because it's very labor intensive, folks. You got to warn them.
And so for all of that, the Diamante Reposado Cristalino is actually the cheapest of the three of this brand that we're going to review today at a suggested retail price of $100 for a 750 bottle.
Now remember everything you're getting. You're getting a lot of character. I taste spiciness.
Fancy box.
Yeah, you're getting a really cool box. I know. You're getting a cool box and you're getting a cool bottle. All right.
Now, the profile is incredible, though.
I think it's
fantastic. Yeah. So the barrel notes are just growing and growing as it opens up.
Yes.
On the palate, it's like it's very bright, fruit forward, but with like some vanilla notes.
Yeah, and the finish just keeps on. You know what I love about Ana Maria's tequilas and Jose's tequilas too, because Jose is responsible for a lot of brands that you may have heard of, like Mejor, Knockout, a few other ones. And I love that they like character. This is not a dumbed down tequila. It used to be that these Cristalinos they're coming out because everybody's got one. But this is not everybody's Cristalino. This really has a lot of character. It's just not the wood notes. If you're an oak head, this iteration, this expression may not be for you, right? But if you like blancos and you like the wood notes, but you're not into that dryness, the tannins in your mouth and all that stuff, dude, are you going to agree with me?
Yeah.
This has got to be a Brand of Promise nominee.
Absolutely. This is really well done. And the thing that always strikes me with anything we have that Ana Maria Romero has been involved in is how much she is blending.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times when we are evaluating a tequila, we're looking at, the agaves we think are from this growing region, this altitude. And, it's like the big thing now that we've been into is trying to pull out the terroir and then, looking for the hand of the maker in the process and all of that. And, a lot of that kind of gets thrown out the window with this. Because, she's pulling the ground out from under us because she is pulling stuff from everywhere and putting it together in new ways. And it's an adventure.
Well, she the first Cristalino that we had from her was last year when we tasted Volcán de mi Tierra. Did I do that with you? I think I did. And that was really nicely done. Volcán, as I recall, Volcán was a lot lighter than this one. This one has way more character in it because I think of the barrels. And as we go through the aged versions, we'll tell you what kind of barrels they're using because it's a spectacular. It's
crazy.
It's a five circus, boys and girls. But anyway, I love it. I love what she's done with it. It's a finish that just keeps on giving, and you don't lose the characteristics of the agave. I like that she is pulling from everywhere. All five. Some states, like I say, people like agave from other areas that are they don't have the fruitiness of the highlands. They've got other characteristics that are only from that area. Like I said, Tamaulipas would be one. What's the
Yeah.
other one? Guanajuato.
So they say they're the majority of the agave is comprised of Jalisco Highlands agave, and then they are bringing in the other 4 states to add subtle, nuanced flavors. So
Yeah, I think it's the other way around. I think the flavor is stronger, and the Highlands keeps it tamer, I think.
Right. It's sort of like the canvas that the other regions are painting on, probably.
Yeah. So anyway, that's our take on the Penta Tequila Reposado Cristalino. That's a mouthful, but it's exactly what it is. Stick with us, boys and girls.
Yeah.
We've got 2 more iterations. Yes, there's 2 more. And I can't wait. And look at that. It's got bubbles, man. Congratulations to Casa Aceves and to Ana Maria and to those 5 gentlemen, the Penta group. Team Penta, I think, is what we've named them. But stick with us because we've got 2 more iterations for Penta. I am Mike Morales here in San Antonio. That gentleman out there is
Rick Levy and Escondido.
And you've been watching and sipping and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our platforms and channels. If you've had Penta before, please let us know in the comments. If you're watching us on YouTube, download your podcast anywhere, iTunes, Spotify, wherever. But whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.